Hello, ladies, gents, and tormented souls being mobbed by a million demons. I have succumbed to the flavor of the month, and boy, is it tasty. Let's go with the exterminator into the Forgotten Viaduct, because that's the only place that I haven't beaten the final boss. This is a vampire survivors, like an ability right away, right next to me, huh? I will go with Meteor Strike, for it is fire damage. And therefore, fire damage, the more my enemies burn, the more I laugh. Vampire Survivors clone. The genre feels like seems like there's a new one popping up every week. And, you know, they are alternating quality. Some of them are awesome. Some of them are less than awesome. They're more like, oh, this genre seems to be really popping off, so let's make another clone. It feels so parallel to the Doom way back, all the Doom clones. Some of them will suck balls, but some others will be Duke Nukem 3D, and it feels like Halls of Torment is the Duke Nukem 3D of Vampire Survivor clones. It is the evolution. A fantastic iteration on the formula of constant leveling up, gathering all the experience, getting extra awesome levels, constantly creating your loadout, and the satisfaction is not so much in killing enemies, although that is also satisfying. The satisfaction comes from just how powerful can you make your build, and will your build be powerful enough to murder the final boss and also not get killed in the middle of the run. This is atrocious, all of it. Like, it gets a little bit more range. Holy crap, an instant or level, huh? Let's go with more, always more damage. Always more damage. Get that destruction going. Look, I saw Asmongold play it. That's basically the entire story of how this game got so insanely popular. And you watch it being played, and it's like, I want to do it. I want to do it myself. And you do it, and it's totally worth it. And the entry level, money-wise, is so low. More damage. Yeah. The entry level price is so low. $4. That is like, if it sucks, I'm out of half a Big Mac. It's really not a big deal, even if you're a poor boy. More range, more movement speed. Movement speed is for the pansy huntresses. No, I am a slow tank deliverer of death, and I will slowly trudge through this horrendous viaduct and obliterate the opposition with holy fire! Attack speed, burn chance, base defense. I used to take a dump on defense all the time, constantly go for offense all the time. Is it offense, or I think offense is when you take offense from something that is uncouth. Offense is when you are aggressive toward your enemies. So I used to look down upon defensive traits until I did one run. I'm going to go with this. I did a run with picking every defensive trait, and that is the only way I was able to kill the first level's boss. And I was like, oh, turns out that having high defense blocks over 70% or more of all incoming damage. That being said, I am far more fond of my favorite characters so far. And I think I've unlocked them all so far. This is, of course, in early access, so it's woefully incomplete. I think better than improving just Meteor. Improve all fire damage, which is all damage as far as the Exterminator is concerned. Kill them all with holy fire! My favorite is the Huntress, or is it the Hunter? Archer, I think it's called Archer. Because it moves so fast. I've always been a sucker in every game of any high mobility character. That's gonna be my favorite. It doesn't matter whether I'm good or bad or not. Most of the time I'm gonna be pretty bad at it. High mobility characters often require higher skill to use them properly. I lack the skill, but what I lack in skill, I make up in enthusiasm for the death of my enemy. So, you know, I make no apologies for all those deaths in the beginning of the game as the archer trying to weave around enemies and not doing hardly any damage because all I did was pick movement speed upgrades because I cannot help myself. But the Exterminator is the opposite of that. The Exterminator, you're just slowly incinerating all the opposition without regard for how hard they can reach you. Probably you can incinerate them before they reach you, and that is what I'm counting on. Hopefully we'll be able to get it done all the way to the end boss of this particular adventure. If there's one ability that has constantly underwhelmed me, it's Ring Blades, so I'm not going to touch it. I think Phantom Needles are probably the best, but I do like Arcane Splinters. Let's go Phantom Needles. Phantom Needles are pretty reliable, constant source of damage as opposed to the other thing, which is like, oh, the area around you, and sometimes they heal the enemy, sometimes not. The Phantom Needles are kind of like self-aimed as opposed to having to work at it with the other stuff. Let's turn them as orbs. One of my favorites, probably not a good thing with the Incinerator since I have 0 movement speed. Lightning Strike is always a surefire thing, but I've hardly used the Kugelblitz. So let's use the Kugelblitz, and hopefully all of my enemies shall be incinerated. Unfortunately, there was no fire wave. That's what would have been best. If there is a chance to get extra crit chance, you should probably pick it. There's no need to do any of these. The potions that you accrue over time, once you rescue them from the floors and take them back to the permanent progression area, which is where most of your wins actually happen. They allow for rerolls or basically curate your upgrade choices. Things, since all of these upgrade choices have been so great, always go for multi-hit. I think if it shows up, you pick it, no matter which character you're using. I was in the middle of saying something, and then I got distracted with 20 different tangents, so my apologies. Oh, yeah. Then I feel it is by design in games like this, where your wins, sure, your skill does matter. If you throw yourself at your enemies and you pick trash upgrades, you're gonna have a bad time. But most of your wins are actually in the permanent progression phase, once you spend all the gold that you have accrued through all the indiscriminate murder of your efforts. See, these are all kind of okay. Attack speed is always great, though. The more fire that I can spew from my giant tool of death, the better. Destroy the opposition. Laugh at their demise. The recipe for success. More critical damage bonus, more strength, please. So they have, there are critical hits. I think when it's magic damage, there's one character that does no critical hits, and you need to know that ahead of time so you don't use critical chance enhancers at any point. Although your special abilities will still crit, but your main weapon doesn't, so it feels super pointless to pick it. If I find dedication, I will pick it. The others are pretty lackluster, so let's go for that. A little bit of extra health don't hurt. I keep trying to tell you that, holy crap, the permanent progression is what really gives you the wins. I often say, oh, the first run is actually impossible. Cue the speedrunners that will do no percent more range. Let's start upgrading the meteors. Let's see how big can these meteors get. Cue the speedrunners that do no percent first playthrough wins in half the time that is allotted to you. But piercing for fire, I don't think that matters with the fire attacks. Do the fire attacks actually ever run out of area? I don't think they do. How about I just murder you a lot? I mean, pay attention. Does the fire exhaust itself? Does it ever get stopped? I don't think it does. I don't think there is a limit to how many enemies it goes through, as opposed to a lot of other characters who, for whom piercing is actually really, really useful. I don't think the exterminator cares about that. I'm not entirely sure though. That's a good test. I don't think that mattered. It's hard to say. But anyway, for your normies, for your regular Blargos, winning on the first run is actually impossible. The last boss is guaranteed to just kill you because you don't have the speed or the damage to get it done. See, all of these are pretty lackluster. I'm going to do a reroll just for the sake of it. Look at that. Meteor. Oh, but higher crit chance. Always go for that. So the wins started happening only after I spent a whole bunch of gold in the permanent progression. And it feels it's just like Rogue Legacy. I don't know if you've played it. Sure, I'll take that. And oh, the most satisfying moment in all of Vampire Survivor clones. You grab the magnet. Everything comes to your butt. Higher area. That sounds like an amazing thing to get. All the wins that I've been getting have been happening just thanks to the permanent progression. Holy crap, man. All the levels are coming fast and furious. More attack speed. All of that wonderful stuff. Yes, more crit chance. Yeah. Another reroll. There you go, Mr. Wellerman. You get more drink. And I get more rerolls. More range. But this gives you 10% movement speed, which is probably the only upgrade that I could ever want. Nah, give me the bigger range. Destroy the opposition. This guy has taken quite a while to die, but basically through no effort of my own, he has finally died. Yeah, they give me more damage for my critical hits. I have not thrown up the Elven Slippers. That's what the star means. That is new, and I have not retrieved it for the Weller map. Man, but all of these are things that I don't really want to have. So let's just put in my inventory one of them. It doesn't really matter. None of them are useful. Unfortunately, that is one of the downsides of having an advanced save. I would say I am about 3/4 of the way through all the things that you can do in the early access version of this game. I anticipate there's going to be a bajillion updates that will make it as insanely feature complete as Vampire Survivors has become. There are so many cool things in Vampire Survivors that were not there during the early access time. More damage, less problems. Hell yeah. Kill all this filth. Cleanse this viaduct so the water can be pure and drinkable. I don't want any dysentery. I don't want any salmonella from this water. It's so contaminated. It gets even shellfish disease. I don't want piercing. Stop giving me piercing. I don't think it matters at all for the exterminator. You noob trap. You will not entrap me with your foolish choices. And now that I have upgraded so many things in the passive permanent progression. Yes, multi-hit, always multi-hit. And we get, yeah, Dragon's Breath, baby. That is what I was hoping for. More fire attacks. Set it all on fire. Watch it burn. Laugh maniacally. That's the play style with the exterminator. I am touching way too much of these disgusting lepers, though. So I would rather not touch the filthy people. Higher area? Sure. Make blanket the entire playing room with holy fire, napalm. Oh yeah, brr. Let's follow the arrows for resources, such as the weird weed that I will chew upon and give me fantastic hallucinogenic experiences. Set them all on fire. I often just ignore the experience points on the floor, simply because you are bound to eventually find a magnet, which is the hand icon on the floor that you can pick up. And there's two reasons. why I'll ignore the experience points for the magnet. One, it is enormously satisfying to get, it's like delayed gratification of leaving the experience points on the floor so they all come to you all at once. Incredible dopamine-gasm. It is the greatest experience in any Vampire Survivor clone, and Halls of Torment is no exception. But number two, it also feels like the optimal way to play, because just concentrate on killing everything. Base defense, huh? Just go for range. Phantom Needles, I really should go out of my way to improve that a little bit, but anything that improves all attacks, I'll always prioritize it over things that only improve a certain ability. Set you on fire real quick. That armor must be blistering hot. Your flesh must be melting into it. Quite the absolutely atrocious experience that you must be suffering right now, you buddy. Sucks to be you and clad in your horrible, incredible super armor. Areas hit by meteor strikes start burning. Yeah. Pour fire. Set it all aflame. More crit damage bonus. Yeah. I am walking towards the icon in the corner, which will give me another scroll. Oh, you do want to keep them. Oh, I managed to grab a glove. All the good stuff is gonna come. So you do want to keep them for when you can upgrade your items, which makes me believe I don't think I have seen this one. Select the trait. The trait will stay in the selection unit until you take it. You can still choose a trait afterwards. Select the trait. The effect of that trait will be applied twice. That's awesome. That's great. Select the trait. That trait and all of its follow-up traits will never be shown again, but then you don't get to pick anything. All right. I think... But you can still pick something. So we're going to reserve the Meteor Strike. And then I'm going to reroll. And I'm going to go for improving the Dragon's Breath. This is great, but I'm going to improve Dragon's Breath until I can pick up the scroll. And that will give me the improved version of the Dragon's Breath. And I think that's the way to go about it. So I'm going to just beeline these Dragon's Breath upgrades with this magnificent influx of good stuff. I mean, all these choices are fantastic, so I'm going to keep picking the good stuff, and if there's no Dragon's Breath, huh? But 30% extra damage to main weapon? Hell yeah, baby! I will take that every freaking time. Look at the insane amount of numbers coming out. Who plays this game? Dragon's Breath, that's what we want. Who plays this game with numbers turned off? You must be a weirdo or be running the game in a potato. It is also a possibility, you know, no judgment if that's the case. More fire damage, hell yeah. More base damage though for the 30% area, bruh. This choice is pretty big. I think I'll go for the base damage because at this point I'm only concerned about killing the final boss. And area of effect, not that big of a problem against the boss. Once the boss comes around, every enemy despawns. So all you're concerned about is dealing enough single target damage. And that is a pretty cool balance to strike. Doing enough AoE versus doing enough single target damage. I like that micro decision that you need to take as you advance through this place. I did get level 4 Fire Wave, and there's Dragon's Breath. I think once you reach level 5, now I'll be able to upgrade it with the scroll. I'm pretty sure I am correct in this bit of knowledge that I have imparted myself. Let's find out if I am correct in this. Stream of fire. Instead of emitting a single moving wave of fire, Dragon's Breath emits a quick but continuous stream of fire. Hell yeah. Let's do it. Brrr, just super barf. I've never seen it before. I like it. The problem is, though, I did like the other version that I had before, which does knockback. And that is such a massive, massive improvement. All these are pretty good, but Fire Affinity seems like the way to go. when every single one of my attacks, except for the lightning ball, does fire damage. These fellas, it was not obvious at first. The way they work is they chase you until you're not looking at them, and then they stop. It's pretty cool. Pretty neat little mechanic. It is. I mean, it's of no import whatsoever. They're total pushovers. They're pieces of garbage. Fortunately, I cannot really damage them unless I'm looking at them, because all of my attacks are front-facing. Much like the power of my quack only can damage things in front of me. I mean, I keep getting stuff that is great. That is why I keep ignoring Meteor Strike. Plus 20% crit damage. Hell yeah. And now I'm basically just chilling for this next 16, 17 minutes. I'll gather all the potion resources from the floor. I am basically advancing, destroying barrels in my path, dodging through all the monsters until I find a glove, at which point I will get the dopamine gasm. It's awesome, and that is what you live for in Halls of Torment. Get this upgrade. It's all pretty trash. Let's go for that Meteor Strike that I've been saving for such an occasion where every other upgrade is trash. Let's keep on going. The thing about the viaduct, eventually you do run out of space, and then you just turn around. It's all right. The procedural generation of resources means that even though you have destroyed every barrel in your path, it doesn't really matter. It will give you new barrels to destroy. It's not a big deal either way. Probably should grab that gold. Come on, be diligent, be conscientious. Oh, that's a boss. Let me just go over there and maybe destroy him. Since we were doing all about meteors, let's go for the meteors. Even though probably the Dragon's Breath will be better since it's a permanent fiery torrent in front of my face. Don't touch the no-no place, though. They're terrible. Icicles. Trying to go right up my rectum. It's like my damage is somewhat middling. It's not awful, but it's also not amazing. It's not great. This boss ain't melting, you see. Even though I am throwing the power of 7 suns straight into its mouth. This son of a bitch has incredible thermal insulation. All my fiery efforts are just almost in vain. Please stop harassing me. You're dead. You're almost dead. And the problem, that's a thought that I did not finish. Yes, attack speed is fine. That's a thought that I did not finish earlier. The problem with having an advanced-ish save file, the items you pick up from boss rewards, they're pretty underwhelming because most of the time you already have all of them. That being said, probably these are... Oh, this is new. Leave a trail of goo. Enemies that touch the goo slow down, but will disappear after 10 seconds or when several enemies moved over it. Seems useful as hell. This one just gives me defense and block, which is good, but... Oh, hell yeah. Plus 50% XP gain. Give that to me. Put it on. 100%. That is always your choice. Oh, look. Plus 10% more damage. Hell yeah. Give me some. I mean, now I'm slightly slower than I used to be. Precisely, exactly 10%. Oh, no. I think I like the regular Dragon's Breath. The one that is a giant wave that does some knockback. I think I would rather use that instead of this never-ending torrent of flame. That sometimes... Oh, we have reached the end. And there is no passing through the wall of undead. I tried it. I did not test whether it would kill me or not. It seemed obvious that that's just the game map just shrinking. Yeah, more critical damage. The game map just shrinking upon me. Ending the final state of the boss fight being confined between the two walls of specters. The problem right now, my health and my defense is pretty trash. It's pretty terrible. So You know, I don't have a lot of staying power. The damage is pretty badass. I'm hoping for a glove, a magnet spawning out of these. Maybe I should go out of my way to get a little bit more experience. Maybe I want this movement speed because it's starting to feel slightly sluggish. And you know what? We're going to get 20% movement speed, and that's all the movement speed upgrades that we're going to get. I feel like that's a fairly good choice on where to spend the double effect. Oh yeah, that's another incredible achievement. Gives me gold, gives me good stuff. Set them all on fire. Look at this mass of creatures being incinerated. I love it. Even more move speed, huh? You didn't realize that there was so many move speed upgrades for the exterminator. Feels kind of counterproductive because when you move too fast, you don't get as much fire being front faced, and things don't die fast enough for you to be able to walk into the space that you're walking into. But you know, the higher walking speed probably enables you to not be damaged anyway. What you got? Yeah, meteor strike. All the meteor strikes. Just rain the sky's fury upon this pile of fools. I'll just continue zigzagging until I find the next barrel, destroy the barrel, and then we'll go to the other side. I'm seeing so much experience that will be accrued when I finally find it. Base defense, attack speed by the needles. All of these are pretty trash. Let's go with this. I want to get even better Dragon's Breath, even better Meteor Strikes. There you go. The needles are very underwhelming, but I think you want to go vertical in progression in this game. Always try to get the major upgrades, like max out certain abilities as opposed to go more horizontal and give a level to each of the things that you have, especially since so many of the things that I have are fire-based. You want all the fire-based abilities to be as upgraded as possible. I probably should have gone with the attack speed on that one. The extra burn chance seems redundant. Everything's already on fire. Don't think that I need extra burn chance because I am attacking 70 times per second. We got a little bit of immunity, and an extra immunity. Shouldn't have grabbed it, but you know, whatever. Yeah, destroy that. Bigger area of effect. All the others are trashed, so we're going to go with that one. Big area is okay, especially since I have this giant torrent of flames straight out of my mouth. But certainly a low priority concerned with boss killing. Area of effect doesn't kill the boss any faster. I mean, technically it probably does a little bit because attacks that normally wouldn't hit the boss will actually do it. Do I want to grab that? I think I want to get level 5 on needles or the Chlorcal Blades, whatever it's actually called. I want to get level 5 on either the needles or the lightning attacks. Movement speed. So let's start putting points in the needles. So I'm going to reserve picking up the scroll until a little bit later. I've already started the needle, so let's just get enough experience to get it upgraded. We still got 10 minutes. Should be plenty of time to get it done, especially with the pendant that gives me double experience. Oh yeah, there's the needles. All the others are pretty trash, so not terribly enthused by them. When you're starting out, pickup range is actually pretty useful. But now that I have a lot of permanent progression upgrades, which you can improve the pickup range. Pickup range is only useful when you also have the item. Forget exactly what it did, but it scales enormously with pickup range. And that's really the only thing that you want to do. I think it was an ability used by the sorceress. It scales massively with pickup range. Don't quote me on that though, but there was one. And that is the only time where you want to maximize that. the particular stat. Other than that, I ignore it every time because, you know, you don't need pickup range when there are magnets on the floor. That being said, they are playing pretty hard to get today. Usually, they spawn at a much higher rate. Really could use a reroll here, buddy. All these are pretty trash. Don't really care about any of these. Can I maybe stay? I'm going to get rid of pickup range. There you go. Unfortunately, it does mean that a whole level gets thrown to the garbage. So not the choice that I would have made normally, but this is how the cookie crumbles today, all right? This is a lot of freaking enemies. This is getting a little out of control. Let me just walk back, get a little bit more experience that way. Where are my needles? Come on, did I already grab level 5? I don't think so. More attack speed. I don't think I grabbed level 5, but let's start making our way back to the scroll. Don't want to forget that it's there. This is getting a little hairy. These monsters are getting a little too close for comfort. As we get closer and closer to minute 0, the enemies are closing up on me. Well, terrible. I don't care about piercing though. I guess piercing, it will improve some of the other. Let's just go base health. It is something you really can't go wrong with base health. It is a very low priority, but it's nice to have. Because you will get hit by the freaking boss fight. The boss fight is what I'm tailoring the run for right now, even though it is a very real possibility that I will be mobbed before that happens. Bruh, just imagine the incredible magnet when it happens. Okay, let's grab this scroll, and it seems like I have enough levels of needle to improve it. Yeah, needles could still hit more enemies. When the maximum range is reached, they deal the remaining damage as magic damage in an area around them. Seems kind of underwhelming, but sure. Why not? I don't think that actually helps me against the boss. But sure, we'll clean up more of these scum lords. Let's continue traveling up. I am very disappointed with the refusal of gloves to spawn. The Hydra is a super pain in the ass because you have to be constantly glued to the side. Please, a glove. I beg you. Don't make me look so foolish. I have gone at length about how pickup range is worthless because the gloves exist. The magnets. If you now never spawn a freaking glove, I'm going to look like a complete buffoon. That's one. Oh, baby. Oh. Are you ready to get every level in existence? Holy crap. Phantom needles. Piercing phantom needles. All right. Oh, this is so great. Probably the lightning. There you go. Maybe I should pick a little bit of defense. I'm not sure. Let's go for the needles. Improve them needles. Where's the? I think the Hydra can only spawn on the top of the bridge, so I really should go back to there. Yeah, give me better lightning. Holy crap, brother! Yeah, more dragon's breath. All the dragon's breath. Set it on fire. Watch it burn. Probably the Exterminator is my second favorite character, just because of the holy crap. Oh, I have made terrible mistakes. That's the problem with the Hydra. It requires you to stick to that corner, which means trapping yourself if you're not careful. It's very stressful. Yeah, stop. Very stressful. We may die before the final boss spawns. There's some cheese down there. I would like to have it, please. I guess we'll go for this. Probably the movement speed. Now I'm like, oh man, maybe movement speed is a lot better than I thought. Because I ain't doing so hot. Let's see if we can find the cheese that spawned right there or there. Look at that. The movement speed allowed me to not be damaged there. Pretty good, pretty good. Oh! Oh no! Oh man! I'm about to die. I'm gonna die. That will be very upsetting. Because the entire purpose of this particular run... Oh man, I ate that wave. Was to at least have another attempt at the boss, but the Exterminator ain't cutting it. And I really thought that I had plenty of damage. Like, I thought that I was really, really melting the opposition. Ain't the truth. That ain't the truth. This Hydra, though, it just don't want to go down. Oh, man, I just keep getting hit like a buffoon, brother. Yo! Oh, no! Ah! Oh, man, it got too hairy. It got too hairy. More meteor damage. I'm about to explode. I do have the upgrade that allows me to revive. That's how far I've gotten my permanent progression. Yeah, revive and try to maybe not die again, but the revival, not that helpful. Okay, the Hydra's about to die. It's really about killing the Hydra. Once the Hydra dies, we're gonna have a much easier time, I think. It's something amazing. 50% damage increase, I assume. Minus 5% damage for each enemy in your pickup range. That sounds like a bad deal for the Exterminator. Transform the damage type in your main weapon into electricity. No thanks. While attacking, plus 40% attack speed, minus 30% movement speed. Absolute trash. All of it trash. But, you know, it just goes into my loadout and not be able to be retrieved. That's one thing that, you know, is artificially inflated. The way that you can only pick up one item at a time to bring back to the camp. Very clearly a time-wasting mechanic. More damage for that. All right, now the Hydra is dead. My life has become a lot more manageable. Being said, it's still not great. I don't have high hopes for the boss fight. Hey, another magnet, baby. Don't have high hopes for the boss fight. If I am struggling this much before the boss fight, more needles, sure. Go for it. Really just prioritize range because it seems like a massive deal to be able to reach the enemies from a little further away. Attack speed or damage, it doesn't seem like it makes a difference. They're both going to give me plus 20% results. I do wish this fella would drop dead. He would stop shooting arrows at my anus. He has a pretty low health pool compared to the freaking Hydra. Holy crap, it is getting out of control. Ah, Dragon's Breath knockback enemy, so you can still have it. Fantastic. Ugh. Well, that is pretty worthless, isn't it? When I can't even put it into place. More range. Yeah, go for that range because it kind of matters. Being able to hit things from a little bit further. And now the Dragon's Breath knocking back enemies. It's a fantastic addition to my survivability. I think it makes a huge difference on people reaching me. Everything that I have has been upgraded, so I guess we'll go for Radiant Aura. I think is the very good complement to the Exterminator's close range. I really hate that I've been pigeonholed into this tiny space. These people are just too fast. These waves of gargoyles, I need to pay better attention. Yeah. They're too fast. I just need to be shooting behind me all the time. That's the only way I'm going to survive. Oh yes, incinerate them. I do really like how everything just melts. It's fantastic. Oh, really no aura, huh? Or we should go for the base defense. Since I am struggling, what I'm struggling is to survive. Really, a little bit more base defense would allow me to take a few hits without exploding. Please. It will be great to encounter health potions of any description. I'm getting a little desperate, probably so close to the boss fight. I probably should have saved that pentagram. It gives you double damage. This wave seems a lot more trivial than the one that came before. Not even close to as threatening. Oh, potion! Oh, give that to me, baby. Set all these filthy gargoyles on fire. Hell yeah. Hey, a freaking Dragon's Breath upgrade. Base damage or attack speed. Burn chance multiplier. Minus 15. I don't think so. I think I'll much rather take this. Big another achievement for Phantom Needles. Those achievements, they just give you gold and unlocks on the permanent progression. Don't ask me what achievement does what. I have no freaking clue. But there is a little tracker in the main camp area that you can, if you want to shoot for whatever you got left to do, which is not much. Not a whole lot left. It's not like I am at the end game, but pretty close. More explosion area or better aura? I think you want the better aura. Because the close range enemies are getting a little... Maybe just start just doing circles. Start doing donuts. Because all these projectiles, I think the projectiles are going to do me in. Because it is so difficult to dodge them with all the particles on screen. It is getting completely out of control. It's I am very, very close to succumbing to the monsters. Unfortunately, sure, we'll get the extra health, but that actually is not a hail. It just gives you extra base health, not so much extra available health. Everything is closing around me. It's over. It's gonna be over. Oh, it's over. Please. Go to the other side. No! I'm surrounded. Surrounded on all sides. Inescapable. Alright, at least we got to the final boss with 84 health. Not great. And I was not aware of what this one does. So we probably need a lot of movement speed that I do not have. So far, doesn't look too bad. These charging spirits, though, they seem like they accelerate a lot. Quite the difficulty to dodge. Like, they will come from off screen and you'll just not be able to dodge it, but we'll see. Meteors are out of control. Oh! Continue grabbing the... What is that? It's like a spear? Phantom spear? Another thing that I kind of resent. You know what? I want metabolism for the first time because I may have a chance to stay alive long enough. I don't know what those spears did, but I think that one hurt me. I resent the damage sponges that the bosses are, but that's the entire point of the objectives of the game, to make you so OP that you can kill the health sponge. I grabbed that hand. I took that hand in mine. We rode into the sunset together. The romance of the century. Pretty pathetic. That dodge. Absolutely pathetic. But maybe I can regenerate enough health if I am cowardly enough. No, I just got speared through the heart. It's just a tough level. Unfortunately, there's no more other levels. There's 3 so far in early access. But there you go. There you have the incredible experience. I feel the Shield Maiden is overpowered, so much more above the others. Anyway, that's a run of Halls of Torment. Kind of a flavor of the month, but I think this one has the staying power to be another Vampire Survivors Plus. Like one of the good ones that make you want to keep playing it, as opposed to just try it out. Oh, all right, it's the same formula. and then you move on to something else. Especially, I bet, you know, there's going to be so many improvements going on with early access, getting out of early access and doing better upgrades to the video game eventually. Hopefully, the developers don't get overwhelmed by all the people whining the Steam forums. See you guys in whatever comes next. Until then, savor the flavor of the month.